is more to this ancient temple. I do not see a way to access it. This is the right place. I can sense it. But nothing in this chamber looks like it can make the moons move, or open a path to Joan or Jode. What are we missing, Fiveclaw? And Riddlethar knows I have tried everything I can think of. I held it out, I presented it forcefully, I even shook it vigorously, but nothing happened. I do not know what else to do. My memories and the Kunzari stories, everything jumbled together. Too much research has crowded my mind. Wait, maybe... I remember one thing Mother used to say. Maybe if I repeat her words while I hold the pendant. When a Nequina's blood calls, the shadow dance begins.
By the moons, you opened the path.
You go ahead. Zamorak and I will deal with the dragon outside. Somehow.
Moons watch over you. Come, Fiveclaw. Let us see where this leads. Beautiful. Why was this hidden for so long? This place has guardians, it seems, but they could not stop the betrayer. The betrayer sent. He came this way. That relic. See what you can make of it, Fiveclaw. The spirits awakened. The temple recognized me. I am becoming attuned.
Sir Cadwell, you're part of Kunzari's Krazun. Why are you doing this?
I want what Kunzari hid away, and I need to move the moons to reach it. If a few counts must die along the way, what of it?
You're insane!
You talk to your new god like that? Manners!
The temple. It shows us how the betrayer became attuned. Another temple relic. Activate it for me, Five Claw. The temple relic, Five Claw. Activate it so the process of attunement can continue. The temple showed us the ancient past. After the betrayer killed Kulzari and came to this holy place, he killed the moon priest to force his attunement. The voices of Joan and Jode grow dim. Activate the relic now, please. I need to do this properly. When Anequina performed her attunement, Kunzari accompanied her and activated the relics. The temple identifies me as Anequina, so you must be Kunzari. Somewhere ahead of us, on his way to the temple sanctuary to make the moons move. I need to finish my attunement before we face him. So, please, Five Claw, let us get on with it. I understand. Moving the moons causes an eclipse. That opens the way to Jode's core.
It's almost a shame how Anequina's faithful keep throwing themselves at my blade. Almost.
Temple relic. There it is. Activate it, please. Now, we need to reach the temple sanctuary. Wait, my friend. Let us talk before we confront the betrayer. The ancient memories become clearer in my mind with every passing moment. We follow the same path as the heroes of legend. Kunzari, Anequina, the Betrayer, they all walked these steps to reach Jode's core. I see the truth of the myths and legends. Kunzari tricked Calcrontid into storing the might of the dragons in Jode's core. Then, the heroes of the Krajund lured them into the halls of Colossus and sealed the doors. Yes, he murdered Kunzari and then came to this temple to gain the power to move the moons and open the way to Jode's core. You see, the path only appears at the moon gate of Anequina when the moons are aligned, as in an eclipse. True, but many died before they lopped off his head. The Betrayer was the greatest warrior of his day. If it comes to a battle, it will not be an easy one. There is an apparatus in the sanctuary, linked to the larger moon gate. That is what we seek. We are about to enter the place where the Betrayer faced his greatest failure. Where he died at the hands of the remaining heroes and moon priests. We must make sure history repeats itself. The shade of Anequina darkens with rage whenever I think about him. Even before his betrayal, she detested the man. He was vain, proud, a great sword fighter, but full of ego and hubris. Perhaps that is his weakness, his pride.
Too late, fools! The eclipse has started. I'm going to share the power of the dragons. Magnanimous!
Something is wrong. I cannot stop the eclipse. The Betrayer did something to the apparatus. The moons cannot hear my plea. No. The Betrayer has set the moons in motion, and they will not answer to my song. There is nothing to stop the dragons from using the moon gate of Anequina to reach Jode's core. Not yet. This apparatus moves the moons, but the moon gate of Anequina creates the portal to Jode's core. Luckily, I sent forces there to defend it from the dragons. We will join them. But first, the memories tell me we have one more task here. Anequina's memories show me how she once used the dragon horn. The combat dragon horn you gave me. It needs to be energized, have its power restored. Activate the nearby temple relic, and I will charge the dragon horn. Anequina, Cadwell, John, and Jode. All of it into the dragon horn.
A dip in cold water is refreshing, pleasant, and I'm fit as a fig tree. Now, where's the evil me? Where is the fiend? Let me at him. I returned as soon as I could to help you give the Betrayer a good thrashing. I feel tip-top, I must say. I thought it was the cozy confines of my beloved Cold Harbor, but I suppose it has more to do with the destruction of my other half. Well, good show. The world is saved. That doesn't sound good. Let me think. If I concentrate, I can recall what was going through my despicable other self's mind. He wanted to make sure no one could stop the path from opening. He promised the dragons. I'm afraid not, at least not from here. He did something to the apparatus. It can't be used again. Chimera might be able to separate the moons, but she'd need to do it at the moon gate. She looks a little peaked, though, doesn't she?
I am all right. Cadwell, can we use your portal to return to Rimmon?
Of course, Chimera. It's ready. I feel like 1,000 pieces of gold. Just delightful. But poor Chimera, she appears to have the weight of a mammoth on her shoulders. You should talk to her.
The eclipse approaches, and with it the opening of the moon gate of Anequina. We have a short amount of time before the way to Jode's core appears. At least I am attuned, and I was able to charge the Dragonhorn. Gareshri has already gone to the moon gate of Anequina to take charge of the forces there. We will join him shortly. Thank you for helping with my attunement, Fiveclaw. With you and my ancestors beside me, we will find a way to stop the dragons. We stopped the betrayer, but not before he set the moons in motion. Soon they will align. When the eclipse occurs, the moon gate of Anequina will open and grant access to Jode's core, which is exactly what the dragons desire. Some, but not a lot. Luckily, we anticipated the connection to the moon gate and sent Gareshri ahead with whatever forces we could spare, which was not as much as I would like. I just wish we had something else to fall back on. The combat Dragonhorn is charged, but we still do not know its full capabilities. We must not waste its energy, so we will save it until absolutely necessary. We should make our way to the moon gate now. Tell our companions, it is time. Our companions left the palace to wander Rimmon and consider what is to come. Find Abner Tarn, Zamorak, and Prefect Kalo. Cadwell too, if he is still around. I would like them to join us at the moon gate, but will understand if they decide not to. The ancient structure rises out of the jungle far to the southwest. To think, a place known primarily as a pilgrimage stop and historical curiosity may turn out to be the site of Elsweyr's most crucial battle yet. The moon gates are among the oldest ruins in Elsweyr. Of the few sites we know of, the Anequina ruin is the most well-preserved. Moon priests consider it sacred. The Riddlethar ties it to the lattice. The rest of us, we see a pile of old rocks. I can only tell you what I experienced. I became one with the temple, with all its memories and past experiences. I connected with my bloodline, with the first Anequina herself. I was attuned. I underwent the process of attunement, the same as Anequina and the moon priests of the temple, the same as Cadwell. I know how to make the moons move, provided we find a working lunar lattice apparatus. Some of the stories about Anequina speak of her teleporting from place to place. I see something about portals, but it does not make much sense. Perhaps when I have had 1,000 years to practice, I will be as competent as Cadwell, yes?
Quiet moments to meditate have been rare since Zamorak returned to Elsweyr. This one needed some time alone, especially after helping Tharn with the dragon at the Shadow Dance ruins. But you look like one who has important news, my friend. Zamorak suspected that would be our next destination. This one noticed that the moons have shifted in the sky, moving in a way that breaks their usual pattern. The betrayer's doing, yes? At least you and Queen Kamira returned from the ruins. Then we still have a chance. Zamorak has pledged his honor to Queen Kamira. He will not break that vow. This one has a purpose again, and will see it through no matter the cost. Zamorak will meet you at the Moon Gate, my friend. Queen Kamira, attuned to the lunar lattice. Zamorak never expected to see such a miracle in his lifetime. This one prays that it will be enough when we stand against the dragons. About what you would expect. Tharn used flashy spells to confuse the dragon until it finally gave up and flew away. Then, we encountered a squad of Euraxians led by a necromancer. Those Zamorak dispatched. It was the least this one could do.
Hello! Come to partake in a before-the-battle cleansing? I find it prudent to make myself pristine prior to the start of a slaughter. In my experience, the subsequent blood and gore adheres much better to a well-laundered body. The Moongate. I hope to wash away the memories of the betrayer, as some stenches can't be removed with soap and water. I'm sorry I made the moons move, my friend. Sorry I helped the dragons. But before I became the gallantly gaunt, soul-shriven form you see today, I was the betrayer. I originally did all the terrible deeds that led us to this place. I'm rather ashamed. Dash it all. Yes, of course, that was my plan all along. Make up for my past atrocities by helping the nice cat people defeat the evil dragons, just like the hero I was before I became the betrayer. Tally-ho, then. I'll head to the Moongate now and meet you there. As nice as these facilities are, I miss the boiling plasm pools of Cold Harbor, hot enough to melt the skin right off your bones. What an invigorating sensation. And your point is?
Wine used to rejuvenate me after periods of intense exertion and spellcasting. Now I can barely taste the stuff. A good thing too. Khajiiti wine is cloyingly sweet, like drinking candied plums boiled in moon sugar. I presume you have news? The Moongate? A noble but futile proposition, I fear. The Khajiit should pack up and flee while they still can. Let the Alliance armies deal with this. Show them some fights are more important than deciding whose posterior best fits the ruby throne. No. Just pondering other options. Too much of what we're facing was the inadvertent result of my actions or the actions of my family. Dragons, Euraxians, necromancers. The responsibility falls to me, and balance must be restored. Would you stand a chance otherwise? Without my arcane and strategic insights, anything you try is destined to fail. I won't have that on my conscience. Now, allow me to finish this sickeningly sweet inebriant, one last indulgence before the end. By the way, I believe I understand the purpose of the dragon horn. After much consideration, the use and function of the ancient instrument has become clear. The Dragon Guard were clever, I'll say that for them. Theoretical knowledge isn't the same as practical experience, but I believe I understand the fundamentals of its operation. The Dragon Guard prepared a horn taken from a massive dragon and engraved it with arcane runes, giving it astonishing power. Oh yes, I'm fairly certain of that. And I found historical references indicating the Dragon Guard gifted such relics to key locations, for their protection, you see. The one you located was originally in Rimmen before it was moved to the sanctuary. We have neither the time nor resources to move the large relic, but the small horn you brought back, it's called a combat horn, by the way, was designed to be carried into battle. Once charged with energy, its sound weakens dragons. One problem solved then. The next is sheer age. This ancient combat horn is exceedingly fragile. I'm not sure how many times we can sound the horn before it disintegrates into dust. For that reason, I suggest we save it until we absolutely need it.
The quiet moments between battles. I like to spend the time catching up on my reading. History, military strategy, recipe books. My secret pleasure is a good mystery though, and the new Investigator Veil is a real page-turner. I've been waiting for the order to move out. I sent most of the Cygnus Irregulars on ahead with Gareshri, but a small contingent remained here in case our earlier guess was wrong. I assume events in the ruins confirmed our theory? Understood. We need to defend the Moon Gate and stop the dragons from using it when it opens. Keep them from reaching Jode's core. Well, at least now we have a mission. I just hope the Khajiit can get over their aversion to working with my troops. Queen Euraxia's tyranny made the Khajiit wary. I don't blame them for that. I just want to show them that not all Imperials are tyrants, that they can trust at least a few of us. It will come. As long as we don't turn on each other first.